Welcome to the newer radio with your co-hosts June Fargo and Just Cause.
How are you, Maria? How are we?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you? How have you been since the last time I saw you?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Real busy, real crazy right now. Trying to get a lot of things up and going.
See that? I see
Um,
that. I see you working.
yeah,
Yo, bust down
yeah,
the
I'm trying.
introduction.
Huh?
Bust down the introduction, sir.
Bust down the introductions. All right. So, yo, Maria, man, please introduce yourself. Tell the people where you from, what you do, how you do it. Let them know. Let them know.
Okay, so my name is Maria Prado. I am an Afro Latina female. Um, I was born in Harlem, raised partially in Connecticut. Came back to New York, and now I'm currently living in the Bronx.
Now, to the people that may not know, can you explain what Afro Latino is?
So I am a Black African American woman with Latin blood.
Mm-hmm. Suavemente y inteligente. Yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it.
That
I
be
love it.
me. That be me.
Yes. Oh, that's brilliant. So how long have you been doing this, Maria? How long have you been, working with the public? Have you been doing what you do?
Um, well, I've started my nonprofit in 2014. I actually thought about it in 2008 when I got my life together. So just to give y'all a little bit of a background about me, I was homeless for about 2 decades. Back at that time, we were known as mole people. So we lived underground,
Oh,
ate
wow.
out of garbage cans and all of that. Pretty
Oh,
much you can smell us before you can see us.
oh goodness.
Yeah, yeah, it was that kind of a life.
Tough.
I had substance abuse and incarceration behind me, as well as domestic violence. So, part of my story is me staying in the streets is because I didn't feel safe being around people. So
Right.
I stayed in the streets, and most of the stuff I did by myself.
Mm.
Um, so I actually started my organization thinking on it in 2008. Um, I finally decided to turn my life and my will over and got clean and sober.
Mm.
And I
Congratulations.
knew that thank you. And I
Absolutely.
knew
Congrats.
that if I was going to do anything, because as a female, being homeless in the streets of New York, it's a lot more strenuous than it is for a man. We go
Absolutely.
through a little bit more. So we have been predators. We have been, attracted
Preyed
to
on. Right.
predators.
Preyed on.
Yes, we were preyed on
Right.
severely. I know I've ran across quite a few situations where I became a main meal for a few of them. So, being that I know personally what women go through in the homeless arena, I decided when I get my life back together that I would reach back and help those sisters who think that there's no way out of the streets. So, like I said, in 2008, I got it together. And 2004, I actually started putting the paperwork together to get my nonprofit incorporated. Got a board together who had the same mindset and drive as I had and passion. And thus we were started in 2014. And we were called, I named my nonprofit the Prado of Transitioning Forward as an acronym behind my own
Right.
name. And it stands for the pride, respect, accountability, and desire, openness of transitioning forward.
Wow.
So you have to put your whole body into wanting to do what you want to do, which should be right. So that's the purpose of me giving it that name. And our logo is the lioness, because as you know, lioness We drive the jungle. We do what we got to do. We get the food and we bring it home.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the purpose of me having the lioness logo on for my organization. What I currently do now, I work for the state.
Mm-hmm.
I work with mental health and forensic individuals.
Congratulations. That's
And
amazing.
thank you. And it's very challenging, but I love my job.
I can imagine.
Maria,
Definitely.
can we take it back to the beginning? What was your childhood like? What was it like in your household? Whether you had your mother, father, siblings. I want to know what your upbringing was and what led to your homelessness.
Okay, so hold on, let me turn this phone off.
You're busy, man. I'm telling you.
Joyce, I'll call you right back. I'm on an interview with Just Cause.
Because my life is dope.
Okay.
Click.
I'll call
Yeah.
you back, girl.
Right.
Okay. So, at age 9, I was introduced to alcohol by my father. My father was an alcoholic. My mother was a holy roller. She stood 5'1", and she was Italian. My father was an Hispanic man. He was so dark he glowed in the dark. So
Wow.
yeah. Over the following years, I began using cocaine at about 12 years old. And it all started with smoking weed every now and then I graduated to cocaine. So the age of 12, I was deep into cocaine. Then I got addicted to crack cocaine by age 20. At age 25, I became homeless. I was burned out of my apartment by drug dealers. They wanted to actually buy my apartment from me, but if I sell it to you, where am I going to go? So they ended up burning my apartment. They torched it. And then I couch surfed for a long time, and a lot of abuse was in there. Disrespect. There was a lot of, as you would say, dogging me out.
Right.
I would go to lay my head down and they'd be like, no, you can't go to sleep. You ain't paid no money. So this is how you got to pay to stay. And it was one of them type of things where it turned into more or less like sex slavery.
Right.
Whenever they had a call for it, I have to grab my ankles and do what I had to do. And that went on for some time until I got sick and tired. And then I tried to go into a shelter, and I found that the shelter was traumatizing. There was no safety. The staff there was unruly. They were disrespectful. They were unethical. They had a lot of clients doing things that just weren't savvy. And I thought to myself that I would be better off just living in the streets. And just so happened I took to the streets and I ran into a gentleman. And he asked me if I had anywhere to live, and I told him no. And he says, I have somewhere that you can go. And he brought me to Riverside Park. And I've been here for the betterment of almost 20 years. I've been incarcerated. I got felonies. I thought I was going to be the world's greatest kingpin, because I have met some pretty successful drug dealers out there, and they trusted me with their money. They trusted me with their drugs. I became a confidant of helping them to make up some of the monies that they lost by showing them how to bag a particular way and get some of their money back. So I learned that by this young lady who she used to always tap bags, and tapping bags is merely just by taking a little piece out of this one, a little piece out of that one, and making another bag. So I copied that style from her, and from that I was able to help him to make back some of the money that he lost, and my name sort of kind of went around, and I kind of helped a few, and a few kind of helped me, and that's how it went. When I lived in Riverside Park, we would be underground, so we would jump through a wall and go down into the train station under the tracks. And the only time we would really come up is like for food, panhandle, get our drugs, and then we would come back down here, and that was it. We were like a family down there. It was very family oriented. Most of the time when we brought food down here for everybody. We looked out for each other. If one person didn't have a blanket, we would share blankets. We would find a way to stay warm. We would huddle together, whatever it took. And it's quite comfortable, if you ask me. The only responsibility that you had was the responsibility to look out for your sisters and your brothers. And there was only 2 females down there. It was me and this other young lady. And everybody was like big brothers to us. They protected us. And that's how it all started. And now I'm here.
Incredible. You've been on quite the incredible journey.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
I didn't even know any of that.
Really?
I really didn't. I didn't know any of that. I am in utter awe of this entire thing. I had no idea. I am in so much awe that I actually don't even want to ask any of the questions that I had for you, because now I just want to jump into that. But probably not okay for this interview, and we'll probably have to get back to that. But that is beyond what I even knew about you. That's an amazing journey, and I am so happy that you were able to turn that around and that you were able to even come out of that situation, because millions of people can't. You know what I mean? That's a beyond tough situation.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
After I got my life together in 2008, I went on to because I started with a high school diploma. I went on to get my undergrad and my master's degree because I wanted to open up something for women. So right after I got my life together, that's what I went and did. And I got my chaplainship also through LACA.
Wow.
And I will soon be getting my my ordained papers so that I'll be able to do baptismals and funerals and weddings.
Wow. That is
and
beautiful.
Ministry too. But my ministry is doing the footwork. That's how I get my ministry.
Absolutely. I've been witness. I've bared witness to the footwork. You know what I mean? Just for those couple of shows and a couple of things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So amazing work. You know what I mean? So big ups to you. You know what I mean? In every little way of the word. You know what I mean? It's amazing.
Thank you so much. I know that there was some curiosity about how I got involved with hip hop.
Yes.
So I had the pleasure of being introduced to this wonderful young lady named Joyce Ann.
Shout out
Joyce Ann has been in the industry for decades. And she kind of took me under her wing, if you will. And she introduced me to a lot of celebrities. She introduced me to a lot of people in hip hop. The very first person I met was Don Turreal, and I told him what I was trying to do, and he was like, "So how are we going to do this? Well, you want me to show you love or what?" I said, "Yeah, show me love, because I ain't got no money, right?" So, brother man, he showed me so much love. Like, he says, "I'm going to get some people to come to your that was my first fundraiser.
Wow.
Come to my fundraiser, and they're going to perform for you for free." And I said, "All right."
Wow.
And, even though he said they was going to perform for me for free, um, there was donations taken.
Right.
There was, because he says, how is it going to be a fundraiser if you don't make money? So
Right.
there was donations taken. There were contributions given. I even asked for some of the performers to donate, in which they did. You know, there was no problems. It was a beautiful event. We made a couple of pennies, and that's what it was. My whole life is passionate about music. That was one of the things that got me out of my funk from where I was at. Like Mary J. Blige, she had just came out. Her music was I'm Fine and all of that. And when that song came out, I said, yeah, I am gonna be just fine. And she came out with a couple of other hits, and I said, that's my idol right there.
She has
And
something
then,
to say,
I
man.
started, yeah, and then I started resonating on some of the older singers and actresses like Melba Moore and Anita Baker and all of these women, these strong women, that some of them been through some stuff. And I said, well, they done been through some stuff, and I'm going through some stuff. I think I'm gonna be all right. And I had to do, and I came up out of it. So music is my key. So I pride myself in not only looking to help women and youth, because the youth are affected too, because when mama's affected, youth are affected. So I pride myself in working with women and youth. Now, don't get me wrong, I will still work with men. I will work with any gender, any sex, anytime. But that's my primary. And at the end of the day, with me finding music as a passion, I promised myself that whenever I do something, I have to incorporate music. So that's why I always say I will always have a platform for people to come and perform. Everybody can't afford to pay for a platform. But if you want to get your feet wet, if you want to get a little experience underneath your belt, if you want to try some new lyrics, so long as it ain't crazy, I will allow you to come on a platform and perform. And I allow Don to Real to pretty much spearhead a lot of the performers that come on. He's been giving me a lot of his people, giving them platform, and they do what they do. And I tell everybody, invite your people. Let your people come see you perform. It's free. The only time it's not free is when I'm doing a fundraiser. That's it.
There you go.
Other than that, it's free. And now I got to the point where I don't even charge the performers. So performers come on, they do what they do. I'm selling tickets. How I raise my money, basically, it's through donations. It's through fundraisers. And that's how we've been getting our money. We don't have a contract with the city. We don't have a contract with the state. We don't have any investors. All of our money either comes from our founders, which are boys, or
goodness.
donations from other organizations, or again from our fundraising events that we hold.
Okay.
How do I feel about hip hop and how does it fit in? I think hip hop fits in perfectly with what I'm aligned in doing. Because I'm working with women, adults, children, whatever it may be, men, women, bisexual, transsexual, pansexual, whatever it may be. If you can sing, if you can rap, if you can do the spoken word, there's a platform for you. Everybody fits in. There's no big eyes and little U's and none of that. I give everybody opportunity. If you got a kid that says that he can rap, Next time I do my event, you bring it to my attention, I put them on the platform.
She's not fibbing because JoJo, my son, has been on the platform, so she's not lying. Yep.
I put them on the platform in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I will. How I feel as being a mother, with morals with children, I think that, and as you know, just to put it out there, I have 7 kids. I have 10 grandkids. I have 2 great grands and 1 great grand on the way.
Oh, congratulations. Oh, that's
Thank
brilliant.
you.
That's
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Absolutely.
Yay!
That's great.
My morals are, I think that these children today are too focused on social media.
Absolutely.
When we came up with playing outside, getting a creative space in our heads, going outside and finding something to play with and make it a game.
Right.
Like we used to pick up sticks and rocks and just hit that all day and try to hit the wall.
Yeah.
Kids don't do that anymore. Kids get on there, whatever these things are, these games and electronics and stuff, and they just lose their minds. There's no social network. And I think we should instill in our children now more than ever some morals, how to respect our elders, our mannerism as far as speaking in general to each other, as well as seniors, women, men, whoever the case may be. You speak to others as you wish to be spoken to. Those are some of the morals that need to be instilled in our kids. I personally have raised my kids to be verbal. You speak what's on your mind, but you speak it with care and concern of the next person's feelings, and you allow people to present themselves for who they are. My 14-year-old, and I can tell you, my baby boy is rough around the edges.
Is it Adonis?
He grew up around all the adults because his oldest sibling is 44, and he's the youngest. He's 14.
Right.
Even his niece is older than him by 20 years.
Oh, wow.
And yeah. And so he's been around maturity all of his life. So when he talks to you in a form of like he's an adult, only because he's been around adults all the time.
Right.
But I still check him. I still let him know, you can't speak in that manner. You can't do this. You can't do that. And he's like, but Ma. I'd be like, but that is, and we go back and forth.
Right. Shout out Adonis, man. You're a dope human being, man. I met you the last time I was down there, man. You're a dope human, man. I like you, brother. Keep doing your thing.
Yeah. I'm trying to get him to understand what working in this field is like. You have to really put your heart on your sleeve, but not completely, because people will take their sleeve and rip it off if you allow them to.
Right.
But I think that he's going to turn out to be all right. He's going to turn out to be all right. As a 14-year-old, he has his challenges, as all 14-year-olds do. They have their challenges. He's going to be all right. So my goal, my next thing in my life, I'm waiting for the city to allow one of my properties to be vetted so that I can open up a shelter. Moving past that, I'd like to open up a building for actually 2 buildings. One would be a ladies' house, and that would just be just for women, maybe 10, 15 women at best.
Like a ladies'
just for women.
shelter?
It's not so much a shelter, it's a ladies' house.
Ladies' house.
So they will be running the house themselves. Like they'll be cleaning, they'll be cooking, they'll be going to school, they'll be going to work. Because everybody can't do shelter.
You're right.
Everybody's not built for that shelter stuff.
Yeah.
So with a lady's house, you have a little bit more freedom. You can't have any company, but you have a little bit more freedom, and it's a little bit more lax. It's more of a home type space opposed to that shelter, stringent rules and regulations type thing. There are rules, but they're not
Right.
as stringent. So it's more like your home with a bunch of other ladies. So your roommates.
Right. Open
Right.
community house, but
Right.
you have to obey the
Right.
rules. That's
Right.
respectable. That's yeah.
Right. Right. So that's one of the things that I would like to do. The second thing I would like to do is open a house for kids aging out of foster care. These kids are coming out of foster care and they're just putting them in shelters. There's no real place for them.
No,
You know, you put them in shelters with grown people who will
Yup.
take
Do
advantage of them.
that crazy. Yep. Yep.
So, like some women, not all kids is built
For
to
that.
defend themselves. So, if you create a building or a house, if you will, for kids aging out of foster care, just so that they can get the skills they need or the skin
Mm-hmm.
they need to move forward. They might need some more education. They might need a little boost
Mm-hmm.
with doing the things that they need to do so that they can be productive members of society. Because if you let these kids out here in these streets straight out of foster care,
Yeah, that's
you see
crazy.
how many gangs is out here, and you wonder why they out here, and they snatching these kids up like left and right. 17, 18-year-olds becoming parts of these gangs because this is my mom, this is my dad, these are my people, this is my family.
They never,
And they will tell you that.
Mhm.
They will
Never
tell
got
you to your
accepted.
face,
Yeah.
this is my family. And, you know, to try to break the cycle of that, we need to open up more houses, not programs, houses, so that they can learn how to sustain themselves and be better products of society. If we put a more humanistic look on it, it'll be a better outcome for our kids. This is our future we're talking about. Keep letting these kids come out of these foster care into these shelters and into these streets. And our future is going to be a hot mess.
Yeah.
You see the streets now, right?
yeah.
We living in the wild, wild west.
I was
Again.
like tell people you never like I'm in Florida right now, and like you know you never know what's going on. Like even in New York, I think it was in Huntington a couple years ago. People are just shopping at Walmart. Some dude just comes in and shoots a bunch of people. You never you never know what's
And
going
it's
on.
the mental.
People don't
Bitch
get
groups.
the resources they need, and a lot of parents, you know, they neglect it. Like, oh, he's fine, he's just angry, he'll grow out of it. But a lot of people don't understand, like, if you have an opportunity to help your child, because you never know what's going on in their brain. You see all these kids nowadays, you know, writing manifestos and going on Snapchat specifically saying, yo, tomorrow I'm gonna sh my school. And then kids are reporting it now, and it's crazy that kids are catching it more than the parents. It's up to the parents, you know, to really lead this next generation.
Absolutely, absolutely, and we
Absolutely.
need more we need more parents to stick up and to be more, you know, active in the children's, you know, in the children's lives. Like, you can't be as lackadaisical as that tablet that you just left the kid with. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, like, you know, the
Exactly.
tablet got my kid. Nah, yo, you can't. I don't feel like you can do that. I don't feel like you can leave your kid for 5 hours, 6 hours on the tablet and then not expect a child that's not of mental and sound quality state of mind to just be like, oh yeah, nah, the thing that I just watched for 4 hours on YouTube was not it. What? Like,
Right.
yo, you don't know what he or she just saw. Like, how did you, you know, like, it's, I don't know. It's just gotten to the point where parents really just need to jump in, you know, full, you know, you know, just wholeheartedly and just, you know, full force into their kids' lives and
Right.
just
Right.
stay there, you know what I mean? And just be willing to be obnoxious, you know?
Right.
I'm my kids don't like me. I know my kids don't. You know what I'm saying? Like I sit there and I vet my kids' shows. Like, oh, how did you did it? I'm like, I watched that show early. Like I knew you was gonna want to watch that show. So I watched it before you watched it so
That,
I can know whether or
that's
not.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like I'm like, so
That's
I
what I'm
could know whether or
talking about.
not you were good to watch that show. Like, and my son will be
Right.
like, "Oh man, that's not," and I'll be like, "No, you can't watch that show," or "Yes, you can," or you know what I mean? Because I try to be, you know, involved in my kids' lives. Like, and you know, not all the time. You can't be all the time, but you know, we try to be. You know.
Exactly. Exactly. I see somebody who had said something about I was just speaking Kenyan Jasmine.
Yes.
She
Higher.
says that she was just speaking about the issue with the youth aging out of foster care. This is becoming an issue. We got to catch them when they come out the door. One thing that I want to emphasize, parents, please, please, please listen to your kids. Listen to them. If you have a son, if you have a daughter, you are leaving them with your boyfriend, or you're leaving them with your girlfriend, or you're leaving them with your cousin or your aunt or your uncle, and you pick them up, and next time you bring them over, or a couple of days later, or a week later, whenever you bring them over, or over a period of time that you've been bringing them
Right.
over, and they start exhibiting signs that they do not want to go,
Yep.
or they are kicking and screaming, no, no, no,
Yep.
they're going to listen to
Yep.
them. You hear me?
Listen.
Listen to them. They are telling you something. They
Yep.
can't find the words because they don't know what to call it.
Yep.
But they are trying to tell you something. Please listen to your kids. Your kids may be getting abused. They may be getting sexually abused.
They may be
You don't know
getting
what's
hit like
going on.
nothing. You don't know. Yeah.
They may even be making them do something that they don't want to do.
That's a fact.
But I'm telling you, if your kid is kicking and screaming, please listen to them and change up the format. It may cost you a couple of pennies. It may even cost you a day out of work. You need to tell your work, listen, my child is in jeopardy. I believe my child is in danger. They got to excuse you. They have to excuse you. Don't use the excuse, I have to go to work. I have to do, no, don't you talk to your HR director.
Yep.
Let them know. I believe my child is being abused by the babysitter, my man, whoever's watching your kid.
Yep.
And they have to give you that. They have to. If they don't, take their ass to friggin' court.
Yep.
Take them to
Absolutely.
court because you believe your child is in danger. If something happens to your child and they're forcing you to come to work, you document it, take them to court. Sue them.
Yep.
Sue them. Another thing is, and you were pretty much saying it yourself, Just Cause, watch what your kids watch. It's very important you see what your kids are watching because that gives them, it plays a role in their head. If they're watching a lot of stuff with guns, they think it's okay to play with guns. And when they get their hands on a real gun, oh, this is like the video game. Pop, 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 pop.
Yep. And it's not. That's what I'm. Yep.
And it's not. There's a movie that they put out and it was called Sausage Party.
Yep.
Oh my
I
goodness
thought it
gracious.
was just a regular innocent cartoon about food. So
No.
my son is like, Ma, let's watch Sausage Party. I was like, okay.
That's
Oh my
why I
God.
watch everything by myself with my wife first.
You found out the
I said, oh
hard
my God.
Yo,
It
that
ain't
is
all about
horrible.
sausages, huh?
I
I was
am
like, what is that
sorry to be
sausage
laughing.
doing to that bun? I said, oh, baby, you can't watch this. You
You
can't
know
watch
what
this.
happens?
I said, he's like, no, it's about the sausage. And I said, did you watch it before? He was like, no, but look. I was like, I'm looking. You can't watch this, baby. This is no good for you.
You
That is wild.
know that mustard.
Yo, and they put it out there like it's a cartoon. So I thought it was innocent. I was like, yeah, we can watch it. No problem, baby. Come on, let's sit down and watch it. I went and got her some pizza and some soda, some chips. I set it all up.
Yo,
We getting ready to sit down and do a
threw
day. I said,
all that, threw all of it out the window. Got up, broke the TV, broke. Oh my god! Broke the television, all that. Oh
Lord, on that
no!
movie. I
Oh,
could not believe that movie. I said, oh no. And they got it sounding like it's an innocent movie.
no! This is why I do that. And my son is like, I don't understand why you do that. It's because the one time that I didn't do that was the one time it looked like an innocent show, and everything about the show screamed innocence. And it was like, yeah, yo, the last episode was not innocent at all. The last
No.
episode of this show was probably the most disrespectful and demeaning towards women. I was like, I don't understand why they would put this specific episode at the end of this show. Like what? And then they like never aired the show ever again. Like this was like the last
Yeah.
episode. I'm like, you wonder why, but you know what I mean? I'm
No,
like,
wow.
what? Like, why would
Yeah.
you do right? I'm like, but what were you doing?
So
And
yeah.
my son got to watch this, and he's like, yo, what? And I'm like, what is this that you're watching? He's like, oh, this is the show. I'm like, oh no, slipped through the cracks, and that was my fault. And I'm like, nope, never again.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, so people, you got kids, you got grandkids, whatever the case is. If the kid all of a sudden doesn't want to go with this person, please listen to them. That's all I can say. And pre-screen some of these movies that are coming out. They have trailers to them, they have bios to them. Take a look at them, see what it's about. Not everything is going to be black and white. But if you see the trailer, sometimes the trailer starts like in the middle and gives you little bits and pieces. You can kind of put it together.
Okay.
But for the most part, yeah, so that is the Prado transitioning forward. That is Maria Prado in a nutshell. My legacy, let me see. I hope to be able to just leave a legacy of women being able to take the initiative to say, I can do this by myself. After I had my last child, Adonis, I've pretty much been a single mother. Like maybe 3 years, and I became a single mother. His father did everything of what he wanted to do, and to the point where he's not in the picture at all.
Not even.
So that would be the
Wow.
legacy that I would want to leave. Women, even fathers, you're single, you have a child, you have to raise them. You can do this. You put your best foot forward. Know what you want your child to represent, and that's how you raise them. Love, compassion, and understanding. Allow your child to be safe to talk to you. Every kid has their own way of expressing themselves. Allow your child to feel comfortable with expressing themselves. That way they don't feel like they have to lie to you.
Yep.
And that would be the best way for you to raise your child like you want them to be raised. Decent young man, young lady, living a productive life. That would be my legacy. Just to help the underdog and help people who don't have a voice get a voice. I'll be their voice. I got a big mouth.
I'll be right there with you, girl. I trust me.
Yeah,
The day that
so
we met, I was like, shoot, I'm with you, girl. I was like, I love
yeah,
everything that you stand for, so I'm with it.
thank you. Thank you. So my legacy would be just that. Live life to the best. Be the best. Treat people as you would want them to treat you. I want everybody to succeed. If I can help you, I'll help you. And that's my legacy. Just remember me when I'm old and gray and can't move anymore. Just remember that's the lady that was trying to help everybody. That's the lady who was giving everybody a platform to sing and dance and act the fool.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
That's what I want to be remembered as, that lady. That's it, nothing more. I don't even want the money. Well, I do need the money because I got to get my business up and going, but.
Bills paid.
That's it. Got to get those bills. Absolutely.
Right. Do you have any questions for me, June? Because I know I've been running my mouth. You ain't said nothing. Seen you wiping your eyes over there. You got something in your eye, buddy?
I have really bad dry eyes. I had to turn my fan on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do you do for fun? You tell us what you do, that's like strictly business, but there's got to be some fun you like.
There is. I am my own entertainer.
You singing?
So I take it back to the old days. I find something and I just have fun with it. I play with everybody. My husband gets upset with me, but I play with everybody. I am very humorous. I make everything in light. It can be serious. I will make it in light, but then I'll turn it back around. I'll be like, you know what? I know it's serious, but you got to make some fun out of it. So I am just a humorous, go-lucky, happy individual. I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to get what they need. I want to cure the entire world, and that's just me. I have fun wherever I go, no matter what. You can be the worst of the worst, and I'm going to find something on you to play with and to make you laugh.
That's it. We gotta try to have fun. We gotta try to have the best where we're at. Absolutely.
So I do have fun. I go out with my kids. My kids call me and so on and so forth.
What message do you have for people that aren't live, but they're gonna, eventually find this video on podcast and Spotify and YouTube? What message do you have to the younger generation, or more or less, what message do you have for people that are homeless? The homeless youth right in New York. What message do you have to them, and any advice for them, really?
So the message that I have for the youth, for the homeless, is don't do what is always easy. Everything is not going to come easy. You're going to have to go through some struggles in life. Find someone who is positive or you think is doing the right thing and that you feel comfortable with, and gravitate towards that person. Churches are always good. After school programs are always good. There's always that one teacher that you cool with. Pull them to the side. If you got some issues, talk to them. They will navigate you. Ministers navigate you. For adults, it's the same exact feedback. There's someone who you feel comfortable with to talk to, whether it be the pastor in your church, someone at your job, HR department, even a lady in the grocery store that always has that happy-go-lucky, positive spirit that you can feel. And you can feel when somebody's happy-go-lucky naturally. You just see it.
Absolutely. You can feel it before you can see it.
And that's what you latch on to. And that's the person that you go to and you say, listen, you think you can help me out with something? A closed mouth will not get fed. You have to let somebody know what's going on in order to get the help that you need. If you're having some kind of a bad thought, no matter how bad, and you know it's wrong, talk to somebody. We can't help you if we
Don't
don't
know.
know.
Right. That's for sure.
Okay, so this is for anybody listening. Spread the word, spread this video.
Yes.
If you need help, if you're having a bad thought, don't keep it a secret. Find someone that's always happy and smiling and go talk to them. You don't have to tell them exactly what's on your mind, but tell them you're having some bad thoughts and you think you might need a little bit of help.
Absolutely.
That's for sure.
Don't be ashamed to ask for help. The time to be shamed is when you get locked up for doing the wrong thing.
And you didn't ask for help.
And you didn't ask for help. That's when you're going to feel some kind of way. Okay? So, any other questions you got for me?
I think that's it. I feel like you answered a lot of the questions Just Cause had.
Yep.
I definitely got my few questions out, and I definitely felt like this was very informative. I try to let people know this is big. Like, this podcast is about getting real people up here to tell real life stories. You know, you never know what someone has gone through. You never know what someone's going through, and I feel like you may have inspired a bunch of people listening today, or people that are going to listen to the future when they, when they hear this, when the episode drops. It's all about the impact that we make. It's this is deeper than music, and that's what the newer radio is. This is an informative podcast to, get people to unite, and like you're not alone.
Absolutely.
And I feel like let people know.
There it is. That's what it is. You're not alone. I tell people all the time, I've been incarcerated, I've been on drugs, I've been homeless, I've been abused, I've had domestic violence in my life. I've been there and I've done it. If I can overcome it, you can overcome it. You just got to be able to reach your hand out and ask for the help. That's it. One last thing I wanted to mention is that we have a fundraiser coming up on July 6th. And I would love to get any kind of support that anyone can give. It is a fundraiser. We are raising funds so that we can continue to provide for the community. And we do a whole host of stuff, anything from pop-up events to Christmas, Easter events, like back to school events. So we do get help from the community, but we don't get a lot of help. And as I said, we don't get any funding. So if someone would like to see some artists, and of course, the famous Melba Moore. Anybody out there like Melba Moore, please buy tickets early. Because when it fills up,
Who's the most famous person you know or ever met?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I've met Melba Moore. I've met Anita Baker. I've met there's a couple other people. Oh, I met Method Man when I was living on Staten Island.
That's what's up. Staten Island early.
Yeah, I lived in Stapleton for a long time. And I met him going to the store one day.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah. He's an average dude. Like, he just walks the street like it ain't nothing. And you Method Man? He's like, yep.
Monday morning business. That's funny.
That's what it is.
That's down there.
We're all regular people. It don't matter how much money you got. We all hurt.
And he had on a pair of regular sweats with some sneakers and a t-shirt on. Just a regular dude.
Regular.
A lot of people really down to earth. Like, if I become a multi-millionaire tomorrow, you would never know, because I would still wear my Converse and I would still do what I do.
Same.
You would never know it.
Same.
Except I would just be doing bigger things.
Yeah. I always tell everybody, I was like, I'd be the Adam Sandler of rap, bro. They'd be like, yo, stop. I'm like, I'm serious, bro. I don't care how much money I make. I'm still gonna wear my little t-shirt, my pants, and that's what it is. I'm like, there's no reason to be, you know what I mean?
You don't have to flash your money. Yeah, there's no need to flash money. The thing is, you get money to spend it.
Right.
You can't keep it. You can't take it with you. When you have 20, 30, $40,000 of gold on your neck and you die, where do you think that $20,000, $30,000 worth of gold is going to go? Do you think it's going to go in the ground with you?
Absolutely
Let's think
not.
about it.
Oh.
No, it's not.
Oh.
And if you close the casket with that gold around their neck, there are people called gold diggers.
Yep.
They are coming to your grave. They're going to dig it up. They're going to take it off your neck, and they're going to close the box, cover you back up, and going about their business, and they're going to pawn your stuff.
Yep. Sad.
So why not use it for something positive? Of course you want to live in a better house. Of course you want to get a car. Yeah, you want to get a couple of Gucci things, but at the end of the day, do something that's going to matter for somebody who will never see 10,000, will never see the inside of a hotel. Take people on a tour somewhere. Like if I ever become a millionaire, my thing was to take 50 kids in the most poverty-stricken area and bring them on a plane trip to Florida, Walt Disney, for an entire week, parents included. I'm not taking them by myself because I'm not doing no babysitting.
Oh, hell, bells, Trudy. No.
But I would take 50 kids from the most poverty-stricken area and bring them to Walt Disney World for a whole week with their parents.
Change lives.
Everything paid for.
Change lives.
Everything. You ain't got to pay for nothing.
Yep. Change lives.
Just to show them what it is to be out of New York, to be out of the hood. I was started in New York, and I would probably go to other cities as well. 50 kids. And the more money I get, it would be the more kids I would take. And I would start in the schools. Because I've been to a lot of these schools, and I see some of these kids. You know, I've worked as a para in a school, and as a para, I've worked with teenagers who were getting their GEDs, and there were a few of them who didn't have deodorant, didn't have a clean t-shirt, didn't have a comb. And I would go to the 99-cent store and get it for them. Even though we ain't supposed to purchase that for them. I do it. You know, it just shows that there's something going on in the household. What it is, at that time, I wasn't really in a position to investigate. But I've had some students that trusted me and were able to come to me and tell me some of their household situations. And I was able to intervene on a low scale and help them with a couple of things. So yeah, I become a multi-millionaire. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to some of these schools. We're going to start with the Bronx. We're going to go to Manhattan. We're going to go to Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island. And then we're going to take it to other states. And I'm taking them to Florida for a whole week with their parents. Because they need to get out of New York and see.
They need to experience the world. Trust me, the world is not as big as just a city. And
no,
that's
it's not. And that's the problem. These kids don't get to see nothing. Maybe if they see there's something other than the hood, they might say, you know what? I think I got a chance. Let me try it. That's it.
They just need a spark. Just remember, a spark is the thing that creates a revolution. You don't need a whole fire. You just need a spark.
Just a spark. And I am that person to give a spark if I got something to do a spark with.
Absolutely.
So for this fundraiser, and I think Just Cause can post the flyer if he can.
Absolutely.
I don't know how to do it from here.
Send me the flyer and I'll attach it to the end of the video.
Absolutely. You know, okay. I got you, June.
I'll send it to Just Cause. I think Just Cause, do you have it?
I do have it. I have the flyer right now with me. I got it. Okay. I'll send it to him. Okay.
So there it is. You know, they can either come to the event or they can just donate. We would accept it either way.
I mean, I'm gonna be there at the door, so if they ain't there and they ain't fixing it right, no. I ain't doing none of that.
Oh God!
Listen, it's been an honor having you up here.
But it's a beautiful thing.
It is.
It's been an honor having you up here, Miss Maria.
Thank you
Uh,
so much. It's been an honor, June. I appreciate it.
we hope to have you up here again.
Absolutely.
I
We really
will.
do.
Absolutely.
This has been the Newer Radio, episode 5. Shout out Maria Prado, out of New York. Shout out all the mole people in New York. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one.
Let's go.
I'll see you
Much
on the
love,
next
y'all.
one. Part 2 coming
Thank you.
up.